Hey, what's up, you guys? Today I'm going to be talking about my sexual assault story. I'm not going to go into detail. Uh, I'm not going to say names or anything because I really don't think that would, you know, be helpful in any way. I'm really doing this because I think at this point in my life, it's time for me to be honest, not only with the people around me, but with myself as well. So Here goes. My freshman year of high school, I knew a guy. He was 2 years older than me. I thought we were friends, friendly, whatever. I was into him a little bit. Um, One day he invited me over. He was a lot, bigger than me, stronger than me, and it started out okay, but it ended up he was under the influence of God knows what drugs, and he ended up raping me. After that, I couldn't really fight it. Um, you hear like people say, "Oh, it's like fight or flight," and I just froze. My mind completely shut off. All I remember thinking is that, "Oh, it's fine. It'll be over soon. Like, it's fine." I had never been in a position like that before. I had never had sex before that point. So afterwards, I don't think I even said one word to him. I just grabbed my phone, grabbed my headphones, and walked the 2 miles it was back to my house. When I got home, I don't remember much, but I just remember, taking a shower. I was in there for like 45 minutes. I just um, I couldn't feel clean again. I don't know if my mom, sorry, I don't know if my mom like knew what was going on. I don't think anyone really did. I did talk to one of my best friends a little bit later, and she just kind of knew something was off. I didn't, go into specifics. I didn't tell her exactly what had happened, but her and her boyfriend were very close friends of mine, and he was older than the guy was, so they decided to go over to his house one day after school and confront him and just say, like, we don't know what happened, but she hasn't been the same since you guys hung out. And all they told me is that I shouldn't be in contact with him anymore, that he's crazy. He, I guess, picked up his cat and threw it across the threw it across the room at, like, a wall, and it hit the wall so hard that, like, a picture frame fell down. Like, that's the type of crazy person that we were dealing with. About a week or two later, I still hadn't told anyone what was happening. I didn't really, want to admit it to myself. So, after school, I ended up, on a Friday night, I do remember that, I ended up going back home, and I don't know, around 8 or 9 o'clock, I went into the kitchen, and I found a bunch of different pills, and just took as many as I could, and just went back to my room, texted my friend, and just put on music and waited. I just remember my mom coming in and yelling at me and saying, like, did you take these pills? Like, what happened? And I didn't want to admit anything to her because I just wanted it to work. But she ended up saying that my friend had called her and that I have to go to the hospital. And I was in Highland Park Hospital for a 24-hour hold. They made me drink liquid charcoal to stop whatever pills I had taken. And after that, I was transferred to Northwest Community for a few weeks inpatient and a few weeks outpatient. Since then, I haven't had a suicide attempt. I'm not going to say it hasn't been on my mind. I've been dealing with, PTSD from my attack. I didn't tell anyone in the hospital. I didn't tell anyone for years after it happened, and by the time I did, it was like the beginning of my senior year, and it had already been 3 years, so the statute of limitation in Illinois had passed. I couldn't press any charges. The police couldn't do anything. So yeah, that happened. I just remember my first day of senior year. I had changed my number, I don't know, 2 or 3 times over high school. I had transferred schools, like everything was different. I tried to keep kind of off the radar at that point. But my first day of senior year, I woke up to a text, and all it said was "wanna fuck," and I had no idea who the number was. I had no idea who it was. So I went to the kitchen, and I told my mom, and I'm like, I don't know who this is, like, you have to call the number. So she ended up calling, and just, I heard his voice, and I knew exactly who it was. I hadn't heard from him since, my freshman year of high school. So it had been like 3.5, 4 years. And I just, I told her to hang up and we have to call the police. And she didn't question it. She didn't ask me who it was. I just said, it's a bad person. We have to call the police. I can't go to school right now. So the police ended up coming to our house. They went to his house because I told them, I had been there before. And, of course, he got away with texting me and harassing me because the police said, oh, he just said it was the wrong number. But there was no way that that was the wrong number. I think it was a power play in order to keep me his victim. I think since then there's been a lot going on. I'm definitely in a much better position in my life because I moved halfway across the world. I'm living in Israel. I'm doing things that I've wanted to do for my entire life, which I never thought would happen. I just hope that this video reaches one person who has been in my position or who is going through things that I went through previously, and just to know that you're not alone in this. There's, support groups, there's websites, there's YouTube videos for my story. The hashtag #MeToo movement is incredible, and everyone's sharing all their stories, and I felt like, just for my own sanity, I needed to post my story. So, thank you for listening, and I hope that this helps someone out there.